It's now or never. There's no time to play games with Matt and Jerome back there. Just got to keep this train a-rolling, so I stand up one last time, put my head down. You can see I'm gauging my effort, just the power I think I can hold all the way to the finish. Hopefully it's enough. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Alviso. Super excited to talk about today's race. It was a pretty crazy finish. So let's set things up. Let's talk about who was here. Let's talk about the course. You guys know Alviso. We have the normal wind direction. Check out those blue arrows in the bottom right-hand corner. And then teams. So San Jose had a few guys, but they had only maybe 2 or 3 in this race. Thirsty Bear with the powerful Jerome and Blaine combination were definitely out in full force today. And then my buddy Matt from Teirun Elite in that very vibrant, bright pink jersey, hot off the win from Sassoon. Congrats, Matt. Matt's going real good right now. Definitely got to look out for. And before we get into the race footage, wanted to quickly thank the sponsor of this video, and that is Token Wheels. You guys have heard me talk about Token Wheels before. They are a budget-friendly brand, but that doesn't necessarily mean they skimp on quality. They just don't have the same marketing budget as some other bigger companies. So check out their website. I'll leave a link in the description. You can find things really high-end. So we're talking ceramic bearings, super lightweight exotic wheels, all the way down to budget-friendly carbon wheels if you're kind of just getting into the sport. So I urge you guys to check it out. And with that said, let's get into some race footage. Okay, so just a couple laps into this race, and Matt is already off the front by a handful of seconds. Thirsty Bear not having any of that. So here goes Blaine on the left, bridging across with Brian in tow. And this is a dangerous combination because damn, I'm doing 1,100, 1,200 watts already with 20 Ks to go. But if that group of 3 gets off the front and I sit back and hesitate for too long, they start rotating together, this could be race over, right? Like, you guys listening to this have probably been in a situation where you've joined a race and you're like, wow, the race was over in the first, like, 1 or 2 laps. That can happen. It all depends on the composition of that group. So, I mean, I'm doing over 600 watts here, sustained, 31 miles an hour. Because I have to. Like, I don't want to be doing this with 20 kilometers left to go in the race, but if I want a chance at winning, I absolutely have to make this effort. So I bring that one back, and just a few kilometers later, Matt's not wasting any time. He goes again. And just like before, I wait for Thirsty Bear, and I follow their bridge attempt. This time, I kind of saw it coming, so I was a little quicker to respond, and I'm on Blaine's wheel pretty quick. But Blaine doesn't quite get there. You can see there's still a group of like 3 off the front, including Matt. So Jerome picks up where Blaine left off. And this is looking good for me because this is what I want. I want them to chase it back. So I kind of sit in the wheels here. And you guys got to be careful because this guy in front of me just inexplicably lets the wheel go. And this is just a weird move. So you always have to be paying attention. So all of a sudden, like, Jerome has a gap up to that lead group where Matt is, where some of the strongest riders in the race are. And I'm kind of eyeballing it right here, and it's like, like, I kind of wish this guy in front of me just held the wheel a little bit better. But I can't hesitate any longer. I just have to, especially in the tailwind here, I have to step on it. So that's what I do right here. I get up out of the saddle and put in this hard effort, another 1,000 watts. And the issue with this one is, what makes this one particularly painful is Blaine is right there in my draft. There you can see in the chest cam I was checking back. There I am under the shoulder checking a little bit. And it's like I pretty much know already, but Blaine is there. And that's what's rough about this attack-counterattack thing that Thirsty Bear is executing really well, by the way. Every time one of them is up the road, I chase, and then the other one is in my draft. And then they just switch positions, right? It's like the old 1-2. So what this means for me is I'm spending a lot of time out of the draft, out in the wind, chasing, and they are spending time in the draft behind me or in the breakaway group up the road, not chasing. So this is no good. If I want to save energy for this sprint, I can't keep doing that. And here goes Jerome again, and like you can see the pattern here. It's 1,100 watts. And with 16 kilometers to go, this is not what I want to be doing at this moment in the race. But this is what teamwork is supposed to look like in this sport. I want to tip my cap to the Thirsty Bear boys for doing it right in a sport where most people who are new to it think it's a very individual sport, but this is like the epitome of good teamwork. So I need to find a way to prevent them from continuing to do this, because for the next several kilometers, they just continue to do this attack-counterattack thing to me, and you get into this loop that's hard to get out of, where you find yourself just continuously chasing one after another down. I need to find a way to get out of this pattern. And just inside 15 kilometers to go, here is my chance, you guys. So chasing down yet another attack by Thirsty Bear when, wait for it, look at the rear cam. Here comes Matt dropping an absolute bomb on the right-hand side. I'm up to 1,200 watts. And my leg, this hurts like hell. But this is the best way to get ahead of that counter-attack thing that Jerome and Blaine were pulling on me from Thirsty Bear. Blaine was caught out of position a little bit. Jerome was brought back. So I have to follow this one. And we're going 37 miles an hour. So this is a really hard effort right here. See, Matt elbows me through. I'm more than happy to pull through because, you know, the best defense is a good offense. I need to stay ahead of the Thirsty Bear duo. They can't continue doing what they're doing, or else I'm just going to eventually drop myself from having to chase everything back. Pulling through here, 34 miles an hour, still doing a ton of power. And we reach Dave here. This is even better. Come up to Super Dave, who is off the front, and then all of a sudden, man.
God damn it.
Alviso giveth and Alviso taketh away. So the reason I wanted to show this is, first of all, it was a really critical moment in the race, but also I get asked a lot, in particular on Alviso videos, how do you deal with traffic? And this is how we deal with traffic. We don't put ourselves in any compromising situation. There's very light traffic out here to begin with, but when anytime there's a potential for an issue, we just shut it down and we restart. Which in this case was a total bummer for Matt, Dave, and me because we had pretty much committed ourselves to that move. But hey, with 13 kilometers to go, still plenty of time to do some damage. Let's fast forward a bit and see how it plays out. So a few more times Thirsty Bear tried to sneak away, but you know what? Matt and I are pretty stubborn. And maybe it seemed like they started finally running out of steam. So things finally settled down. Actually, probably a little bit too much. A group of 3 rolled off the front. We're picking up action with about 1,500 meters to go the last lap. I don't really want to chase. Thirsty Bear doesn't want to chase. Matt doesn't want to chase. And this is how late race breakaways are successful. Everyone's kind of playing a game of chicken back here. I'm taking this really awkward wide line because I want to fall back to about 5th or 6th wheel, prepare myself for the sprint. But as soon as I do that, Matt sees I'm out of position and he just launches immediately, which is smart. So now it's like, oh man, talk about less than ideal. Here are these riders in front of me just fanning across the road. Big gap up to Matt with Jerome in his wheel. I have to burn a match right here. Saving energy at this point in the race is going to do me no good because the race is happening up the road. So 31 miles an hour directly into this headwind without any draft. It's not what I want to be doing. But if I don't do it, then I lose the race. So the good news is if you look in the rear camera, things are just completely falling apart. There's no serious chase effort happening behind. We're picking up those breakaway riders now. There's one of them. There's 2 of them. Super Dave got a flat. That's too bad. Still need to find Matt and Jerome, who are a handful of seconds ahead of me. 176 beats per minute, 177 beats per minute. Huge effort for me, guys. And if you counted right, that's right. That group of 3, we only picked up 2 of them. We still have Max up the road. Solo rider, you can see him in the distance. Now, I'm going to try to sneak up on Matt and Jerome here, but they're smart. They know I'm here, so I'm going to get about, 4 or 5 seconds of rest, wait for this tailwind section, stand up, do one more massive effort here. Already at 175 beats per minute. And we still have 400 meters to go, but I just have to put my head down here and catch Max because it's now or never. There's no time to play games with Matt and Jerome back there. Just got to keep this train a-rolling, so I stand up one last time, put my head down. You can see I'm gauging my effort, just the power I think I can hold all the way to the finish. Hopefully it's enough to catch Max, and it's really not until about 75 meters to go do I realize, oh, thankfully it is enough. He checked over his left shoulder, I went to the right, and inside of about 25 meters I catch him for a thrilling Alviso win. I can't believe it. I'm shaking my head. Huge shout out to Max, by the way. He's learned more about this sport in the last 6 months than most people learn in the first 6 years. So I'm really excited to see what he can do in the next season or 2. I have no doubt he'll be raking in Alviso wins, but until then, I'll be enjoying my day in the sun. And with that said, if you guys like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.